Welcome back to virtual reality. If you found this video, you perhaps stand in front of the question, what VR headset should you buy? As you can see, there's a lot of VR headsets on the market. I own them all. So this video is about all the advantages and disadvantages of the headsets. Also, which headset is for which use case, what do you want to play with it, and how much does it cost? I will try to answer all these questions in this video. My name is Woody. You can find everything about VR and AR on this channel. So subscribe, hit the bell, and don't miss anything. Thanks to my sponsors, Woodgo's VR, Oppermann Events, Peter Wasmeister, Ronix, Anni de Pelzer, and VR Ambassador. Let's have some fun with the video and let's go.
Voodoo.de.
Okay guys, so I will do that in different categories because otherwise that would be a chaos. So there will be 4 categories. The first one is the cardboards. The second one will be standalone headsets. Third one will be console headsets. And the last one, the PC VR headsets. So let's first start with the cardboards, or I call it smartphone holder, because it's nothing more than a holder for the smartphone. So what can these things do? What's the advantage? So the advantage, of course, is that they are very, very cheap. You can even get a real card made from cardboard for €5 or even as a marketing present or something like that. So this is only a little piece of cardboard where you put your smartphone inside and then you can just hold it in front of your face and watch. And then we have a little more professional stuff like this here. This is the Google Daydream. It's made from very good material, and then you put your smartphone here, you close that, and then you can put it on head. It's quite comfortable, to be honest. And then you have a small controller here to do some little games. But also this here is not for the real virtual reality games, and I tell you why. The biggest disadvantage, of course, is that it has no room scale. It has no tracking in your room, and that's what virtual reality is about. So what you can do, of course, is put it on your head and look like this, up and down and left and right. This works, but it does not recognize the position in your room. It doesn't know if it's here or here or here. So if you are in a virtual room, you cannot do this because it doesn't work. It stays at the same point. You can only use 3 degrees of freedom. That's it. So this is a very big disadvantage, of course, for these kind of headsets. Also, this one has only 3 degrees of freedom as well. So you cannot do like this or play Beat Saber or something like that. It won't work. But you can use it as a mouse pointer because it has this 3 degrees of freedom on one place. Yeah, then we have the Samsung Gear VR. It's the same. You can push your smartphone here and then close it again here. That's also good. Then we have a holder from Me. That's also another one. You can have a QR code here, and then you can scan that with your smartphone, and then it aligns your smartphone display to the cardboard or holder. Then we have something that's called Universe to Go. You can watch the universe through this smartphone holder. And then we have the Merge virtual reality headset. This can also change the distance from the eyes, an IPD changer. That's quite interesting. Yeah, so what's the price of that? As I said, it starts from $5 and goes, this is around 50 to 80 bucks. I think it's from the comfort, it's the best one, the Google Daydream, and then the Gear VR as well. But guys, to be honest, don't use that for your first time in virtual reality. Don't use it to get into virtual reality. You miss a lot of the most important things of virtual reality, the room tracking, the awesome games. You cannot play this with these headsets. It doesn't work. You cannot use Oculus Store. You cannot use Steam VR or Viveport or anything. It doesn't work. So who should buy that? People that want to see like movies, like 360 movies, or some small experiences where you see a dinosaur and he's running in front of you, and perhaps some little horror experiences where you stand in one place and just look. That's okay. You can experience that, and also watch your VR 180 or VR 360 videos. That works quite good with this stuff. But do not play with them. It's frustrating. You can only play casual games. Don't play with them. Only watch videos, movies, and experiences. This is my opinion. So this was the first category of virtual reality headsets. Okay, let's go to the next category, and these are the console VR headsets. And there's only one. There's still only one. Oh, okay, there are two. There is this Nintendo Switch cardboard thing, but I don't count this as a real virtual reality headset. So let's say the PlayStation VR is the only console headset available. Is it still good? Yes, it's still good. It's old, but it's still good. So what's the difference to the cardboards or other stuff? So the biggest advantage of the PlayStation VR, in my opinion, is the content. We have a lot of good games in the Sony store, a lot of good exclusive games as well. For example, we have Firewall 0 Hour, we have Astrobot Rescue Mission, we have Resident Evil 7 VR, and for example, a very good adventure shooter, Farpoint. This is only available on the PlayStation VR. This is a big advantage because when you compare it to Steam VR, on Steam VR there are a lot of crap games, a lot of bad games. Like I would say 80 to 90% is bad stuff on Steam VR, and on the Sony VR store I would say 90% are good games. So what is this about? So this is a virtual reality headset that is actually a real virtual reality headset because it can recognize the position in the room. It's not only 3 degrees of freedom, it's 6 degrees of freedom. So it knows if it's here, if it's here, if it's here, or if it's here. It works. And how does that work? How does that work? So we have this camera here. We have to place the camera 2 meters in front of us, in the height of your chest, I would say. 2 meters, the two cameras. And these two cameras scan the lights that appear when you switch on the PlayStation VR. So it looks at the lights and can check if it's here or here or here or wherever. It works also with the controllers. So these are the first controllers on that what I showed until now that can be tracked inside the room because it sees the glowing balls here. So this is a very big advantage to the 3 degrees of freedom. You can play very good games with that. You are really in virtual reality. You can also use, for example, for Astrobot Rescue Mission, the room-tracked DualShock controller. There's also a light here and it's scanned by the cameras and it knows the position in the room. But of course, there are also disadvantages with the PlayStation VR. The first one is the tracking when you compare it to the PC headsets, as I just showed you. So here are the two cameras, and then I'm playing with these Move controllers. When I look to these cameras, it's absolutely no problem, it works. But what happens when I turn around? Look at this. When I play around here, the two controllers are covered by my own body and the camera doesn't see it. So it's not tracked anymore. That means we only have 180 degrees tracking with 99% of the games. Some games did it really good. For example, the new Iron Man VR, they have gyro sensors, so they know they know where they are. Not exactly, but they guess where they are, and it works really good. But for the most games, if you turn around like this, there is a message that says you are out of the tracking area, please turn around. So this is a little bit immersion killing in some games. So who should buy? Oh, the next disadvantage is the graphics. So when you compare it to the PC, of course it has not a performance like a PC. So in many games, the background is a little bit blurry. For example, when you check out Firewall 0 Hour, where it looks good, but if you look far away, everything is a little bit blurry, and this is because the performance of the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 is of course not as good as high-end PCs or mid-end PCs, something like that. So who should buy the PlayStation VR? So if you already have a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 4 Pro and you don't own a high-end PC or at least a pretty good PC, then you should definitely buy that because you have good content. It's a good VR headset. The display is pretty okay. It has OLED, so the black levels are good. The screen door effect is also good. It's an old headset, of course, but it's still good to play. You can also wear your glasses under that. It's absolutely no problem. Yeah, another advantage of this headset is that you can buy equipment like accessories like these Move controllers. They are around $70, I would say, and also the aim controller. The aim controller. This is a really good thing because it feels like a weapon here, I would say, and you can play games like Farpoint with that, and it's so immersive to play it with the aim controller. But of course, if you turn around, the tracking is lost because the Move camera doesn't see it. Yeah, so the PlayStation VR is around $250 to $300, and I can definitely recommend this headset for all the people that have the PlayStation 4. So this was everything about the PlayStation VR. If you have any questions, write them in the comments below. Let's go to the next category. Okay, let's go to the next category, the so-called standalone virtual reality headset. So as the name says, it's standalone. You don't need a PC, you don't need a PlayStation 4, and you only need your smartphone once to do the setup. Then you also don't need the smartphone anymore. So this is the first advantage of these headsets. You don't need anything for that. It's awesome. And the second advantage is that it's really easy to set up. So just connect it to your Wi-Fi, then push the button and you are good to go. There's nothing else to do. No sensors on the walls, no putting your smartphone in front of that. It just works with one button, and this is really, really good. A disadvantage is that it's very heavy on the front because in this headset there needs to be the CPU, the GPU, all the hardware, the tracking, the antennas, everything needs to be inside here. So they are pretty heavy, and if we have it on our head, it's very heavy on your face. So this is a little disadvantage, but you can fix it, for example, with this halo strap here. So I bought that. It's a custom mod, and then it's very the weight is spread on your head. This is possible. You can mod them. But it's a disadvantage. And of course, there is no equipment that you can buy. There's no aim controller or tracking devices. It doesn't work. So what's the difference of these standalone headsets? So let's start with the Oculus Go. So the Oculus Go is about $100 to $200, and it only has 3 degrees of freedom. As I told you before, it can only recognize the tracking on the spot. It doesn't know if it's here or if it's here. Also, the controller that comes with the Oculus Go, it has only 3 degrees of freedom. That means we can only use it as a mouse pointer. We cannot play real VR games, only casual games, but it's really good for cinema applications, for watching movies, and you don't need a smartphone. It's really good. Headphones are included here, but only 3 degrees of freedom, but it's very cheap. And the next one, this is a very special one. It's called Verotica, and this is a standalone headset for, I would say, adult entertainment, but it's also standalone, so you don't need a PC or something like that. But now, guys, I show you my most favorite standalone headset, and this is, of course, the Oculus Quest. This is a virtual reality headset that has 6 degrees of freedom, and you also don't need smartphone, PC, or console. It just works, and it has 6 degrees of freedom. That means it knows if it's here, if it's here, if it's here. It works because it has, when you see here, it has 4 cameras and it watches the environment, and then it knows where it is in your room. And this is really awesome. It works everywhere. You can even do that at your friends or in your parking garage or wherever you want. Just don't go into the sunlight because it destroys the cameras and the display. And also the controllers of the Oculus Quest, they are called touch controllers. They also have 6 degrees of freedom. That means you can use them as real hands. They know where they are because they have some infrared LEDs and the cameras sees that, of course. So it knows where the controllers are. That means you can play shooter games and hold your weapon in front of each other. It works because the cameras are very good. It works even when you hold it in front of each other. That's really good. The only disadvantage is, of course, when you hold it behind your head, the tracking is lost because the cameras cannot see behind your head, of course, because they're looking to the front. But it's enough. It's still enough. If you want to play a bow and arrow game, you can grab the arrow from your bag. It still works. So this is a really big advantage because you can play all the games with that. Of course, it has not the performance like a PC or a PlayStation, but you can play pretty good games. Beat Saber works, or games like Red Matter that had really good graphics, or Vader Immortal. It works with the Oculus Quest. It looks awesome and it's a lot of fun because it's real virtual reality with room tracking. Really awesome. So yeah, that's it about the Oculus Quest. And there is another thing that comes in November 2009. From November 2019, you can use the Oculus Quest also on the PC with a link cable. It's called Oculus Link and it's $80. And yeah, you will be able to buy it from November 2019. And then there is a cable. Of course, it loses the advantage of wireless, but then you can play really, really good games if you have a PC like Stormland, Asgard's Wrath, really good games, also Steam VR. So this is an all-round headset. It can do anything. It can be standalone and it can do 6 degrees of freedom and it can do PC VR. This is really awesome. But please note, guys, if you want to use it with your PC, it needs to be on the cable. It doesn't work wireless because the PC has to calculate everything, not the Oculus Quest. But this is a very big advantage, of course. The Oculus Quest is available for $400 and in euro 450 euro, and it's really good. So I would say for newcomers that want to explore VR for the first time, that really want to seek real virtual reality, this is where you should go, the Oculus Quest. It's not too expensive. It's around the same price than the PlayStation 4 Pro or something like that, but you can do everything with it. It's totally worth it. You will see it when you try it, the Oculus Quest. So, guys, that's it for the standalone VR headsets. Okay, as I said, let's start with the PC VR headsets now, and I will do that in different categories because there are a lot of PC VR headsets. So let's start with the Windows Mixed Reality headsets. So what's the difference between them and others? So the tracking it's everything the same. They have 2 cameras and they have full room tracking. So the cameras scan the environment and they know if they are here, or here. Full room scale. So it's tracked with the 2 cameras, and then you have the advantage that you don't need any sensors mounted on the wall or somewhere else. You just have to connect USB or a display port or HDMI, depends on the headset, and then you're good to go. You need Windows 10, and then the setup is so easy. Just open the Mixed Reality portal and it works. Absolutely no problem. Then the the first disadvantage is the tracking. So you have these controllers. If you switch them on, they have these LED lights, and the cameras track the position of these lights. So the problem is when you hold it in front of each other, this one is not tracked anymore. And this is a big problem when you play shooters like Onward or stuff. Don't play precision shooters where you have to exactly aim at your enemy. You won't have a chance against people that have lighthouse tracking or something like that. They are not meant for precision games. So what's the difference between these headsets? So let's start with the cheapest ones. This is the Lenovo Explorer. This is one of the cheapest headsets, like the HP. These both are the cheapest, and they cost around 200 or sometimes even 100 US dollars. And this is really cheap, and this is really good for people that just want to start with virtual reality. Of course, they don't have high resolution. They are not the most comfortable ones. The tracking is not so good. This one even, and this one don't have included sound, so you need your own headphones. This is a disadvantage, of course. And yeah, but you can play all games with it. Steam VR and Revive via Oculus and stuff, and also the other games that you can find in the Microsoft Store, for example. You can play all of them. So around 100 to 200 US dollars, really cheap, can play all of that. Then the next category of them is the Samsung Odyssey headset. So we have the Samsung Odyssey and the Samsung Odyssey Plus. So they are the difference between them. The Samsung Odyssey Plus has a little thing, I would say a little sticker that's mounted on the lenses. It's called anti-screen door effect. So the Samsung Odyssey Plus has really good screen door effect. You don't see the pixels very much, and it's very good for simulators and stuff. Also, the comfort of these headsets is very good. It has leather here and integrated headphones, very good microphone. Comfort is really, really good of them. But they also have only the two cameras. They also have the problems with the tracking, but they are much better than these one. But of course, they are more expensive. It's even double the price. It's around 400 US dollars, the Samsung Odyssey Plus. Don't buy the old one. It doesn't make really sense. Buy the Odyssey Plus. And then we have the most expensive mixed reality headset, that's the HP Reverb, and this one has an ultra high resolution, but it only has LC display. These both have LC display, this one, and these both have OLED display. That means black levels are much better. This one has LCD, but the resolution is ultra high. So who should buy the HP Reverb? The Reverb is around, I think, 600 to 700 bucks. Sometimes 500, you have to see that in different stores. For people that play seated with, who love simulations like racing simulations, flight simulators, this is really good for these kind of simulators. Really, really good. High resolution. You can watch all the instruments and all the stuff very clearly, very sharp picture. And yeah, so they all have in common that there is no wireless possibility. All of them are attached to a cable, no wireless modules. So who should buy these headsets? People that really want to go into VR very cheap, then go for the Lenovo Explorer or the HP Reverb. There are even some of Acer, around 100 to 200 bucks, very cheap. Then if you want some more comfort, some better resolution, better sounds, better microphone, less screen door effect, pay double the price and you get the Samsung Odyssey Plus. And if you are hardcore racing enthusiasm, then go for the HP Reverb. They are very mobile. You don't have to attach sensors on the walls. Very, very good. But the tracking is the problem of these headsets. Also, be aware that you don't have some surface that mirror, like mirror or like LC displays that mirror is the environment. So, and no direct sunlight and not too dark. The Windows Mixed Reality headsets will get problems with tracking then. So this is a problem of that. However, these are the Windows Mixed Reality headsets. I hope you know what these headsets are about. Okay, let's continue with the Oculus headsets. Oculus have two headsets for the PC. This is the old Oculus Rift and this is the Oculus Rift S. So, what's the difference between these two? So the old Oculus Rift has completely different tracking. For this headset, you need these sensors. I recommend to have 3 of these sensors, 2 in front of you and 1 at the back. The disadvantage is that you need to connect these sensors to your PC, all of them. So there are 3 cables to your PC, or 2 if you want to try it with 2 sensors. This is a big disadvantage, of course. However, the tracking is everywhere. So these are the controllers. For me, these are the most comfortable controllers ever. They are really good. You can reach all the buttons very good. It has simple finger tracking here. And as you see, here are infrared sensors and they are scanned via these sensors. That means it can also be tracked behind your head. This tracking is very good. It's very close to the lighthouse tracking. And this headset is also tracked via the infrared sensors, via the infrared cameras here. So a disadvantage, of course, this is a very old headset, so it has a low resolution. You will see all the pixels, of course. This one has better resolution because it's newer. Both have the advantage that you have access to the Oculus Store, and there are very good exclusive titles, like for example Lone Echo or Robo Recall or Asgard's Wrath or Stormland. You can only play them with the Oculus headset. Of course, there's this tool called Revive. You can play it with all the other headsets, but it's best to play them with the original controllers, of course. So this is the old Rift and this is the Rift S. It's completely different. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cameras here. And it scans the environment and it knows where it is. And this is one of the Oculus Rift S controllers. As you can see, the ring is above and this is beneath the head, the controller. So here are the infrared sensor, how are they called? The infrared lights, however, and they are scanned via these cameras here and it's really tracked good. You can even hold them in front of each other because of the many cameras. What doesn't work, of course, is hold it behind your back, then the tracking stops. But when you pull it to the front again, then it instantly works again. So you can play shooters like Onward with that without any problems. Of course, you don't need any sensors at the wall or somewhere else. You don't need this one for the Oculus Rift S. Just insert DisplayPort and USB and you are good to go. It's absolutely awesome. Yeah, for people wearing glasses, you can just lift it up here so you can wear any glasses. But with the old Oculus Rift, it also works with glasses. So the field of view is same for all headsets I showed you until now. It's 110. It's not big. You see the black areas here looking like through a diver mask or something like that. It looks like that. And yeah, so this one has OLED display. That means the black levels are better. And this one has LC display. That means you see the dark areas a little bit shiny. However, this resolution is higher. So what's the price of that? This one is not on the market. It's an old headset. You need to buy it used. That means it's around, I would say, $200 or a little bit less if you buy that used. This one is $399 US, and you get the headset and the 2 controllers. And of course, you can buy it new. yeah, who should buy these headsets? People that don't want to spend too much money and want to experience all of the VR games. You can play Oculus games, Steam VR games, Viveport. You can play all the VR games with these headsets, even the exclusive games on Oculus Store. This is really good. So I call these all-rounder headsets. You can play everything with that, and it's not so expensive, to be honest. Really good. However, guys, to be honest, we have the Oculus Quest here, this one, I already showed that, and it will get the Oculus Link cable so that you can use the Oculus Quest on the PC and also play games like Stormland, Asgard's Wrath and all that stuff. So there's the question, why should you buy this one? Very good question, guys. So consider perhaps to buy the Oculus Quest from November 2019, because it can be connected to the PC as well via cable. And the only difference is that the Oculus Rift S is of course more comfortable because the weight is not on the front, so it's spread all of the head. And yeah, it's not streamed, of course, it's inside this headset. But yeah, if you would ask me, I would really consider to buy the Oculus Quest instead of the Rift S. It has advantages here like the comfort, but all in all, the problem is you can use the Oculus Quest wireless as well. You cannot do it with this. There is no wireless module for the Rift S, but for the Alt Rift, there's a wireless module. I think it's around 170 bucks or 200 bucks or something like that for the wireless module. So yeah, guys, these are the Oculus headsets. Okay, let's continue with the HTC Vive system. So there are three main headsets that are on the market: the old HTC Vive Pro, and Vive Cosmos. And there are some more like the Vive Pro McLaren edition or the Vive Pro I, but these are for gamers. So yeah, what's the difference? This is the old Vive. It has a low resolution, it has high screen door effect, you see the pixels, of course. And with the difference to the Vive Pro is that this one is more comfortable with this cool halo ring here, and with the higher resolution, of course. Both of them have 110-degree field of view. There was my Google Assistant. What the heck? They have OLED and 110 degrees field of view. They both come with 2 lighthouse stations. These are the tracking. I will explain that. And with these controllers, they are very big, very heavy, and not as good as the Oculus Touch controllers, but they are very precisely tracked. So this is the lighthouse system. The disadvantage is that you have to mount 2 of these modules on the wall in height of 2 meters, and they stay there. Don't move them ever. So this is a disadvantage, but the tracking is the best on the market. The lighthouse tracking is the best on the market. It's ultra precise. So if you want to hold it like this or this or this or this or on the ground, it's tracked everywhere. Very good. So another advantage is that you can use equipment like these Vive trackers. So you can attach them on your legs and your hips. So you have full body tracking, or you use equipment like this gun here. You mount it like this, and then you have a tracked gun in virtual reality. This is only possible with the lighthouse system. Very nice. So these both have the best tracking. They are really perfectly tracked. They are comfortable, at least the Vive with the additional deluxe audio strap. I think it's another 220 bucks. All of the 3 headsets have IPD changer. So if you have a very low or very high IPD, we have these screws here on the side, and you can change the IPD. All of them are very good for people wearing glasses as well. So this is the 2 headsets with lighthouse tracking, and this is the Vive Cosmos. This is the newest one of HTC, and it's completely tracked without any sensors. So you don't need these sensors on the wall. It's tracked via 6 cameras. you can compare it to the Oculus Rift S. So it scans the environment and knows where it is. These are the controllers. They are very heavy, very big, and they have 2 triggers in front. And the battery life is very low, 4 to 5 hours only. And it's tracked when you switch it on. There's some lights here, and they are tracked via the cameras in front of the Cosmos. And the problem is HTC didn't do well here. It's very bad. When the headset was released, the tracking was very bad. They tried to improve it. So if you want to hold it like this in front of each other, the tracking totally is gone. Behind your head, everywhere else, it's very, very, very bad tracking. So I can only recommend the Cosmos for people sitting and playing simulations because it's really comfortable. The resolution is higher than both of these. You can flip it up here like this. Sound is okay. And it's modular. So you can attach some modules when you remove the plate here in front of that. Yeah, this is very interesting here. So who should buy? The disadvantage, of course, is that the tracking is bad. The tracking is good, but this is mobile. So you just have to insert this cable, and then it works. It works with the Vive port console. But you can also play Steam VR games with all of these headsets. All of them have in common that you have the possibility to buy wireless modules. So for the old Vive, the wireless module is around $299 or something like that. Then here it is around $349 and here $339 bucks for the wireless module. And then you can play it wireless. That's really good. This is the only advantage of this one, that you, in comparison to the Rift S, that you can use that wireless. Yeah, what else? So the base stations, the difference to the Rift sensors is that you don't need to attach these base stations to your PC. It only needs a power plug, no connection to the PC. That's an advantage. All of these headsets have 110 degrees field of view. These have OLED, this has LCD display. So what's the price of that? This is a very big disadvantage of the Vive system. It's ultra expensive. The very old HTC Vive is still €599. I'm not sure about the dollar price for now. €599. I mean, you get 2 of the base stations and 2 controllers, but it's very expensive. Then we have the Vive Pro. It's €1,199. Holy moly. Of course, this is much too expensive. And this one is the HTC Cosmos. It's €799. Too expensive. If you want to, of course, you can use that for simulators. But if you ask me, should you buy this one or the Reverb? I would say the Reverb. So who should buy these headsets? Of course, the old Vive and the Vive Pro have best tracking. So if you want to use onboard or very precise military shooters, or you need precise tracking for whatever, then go for the Lighthouse system, go for the HTC Vive or Vive Pro. It's very good if you play tournaments or what. If you want to have OLED display, you are good to go with this one. Comfortable, also very comfortable. This one, who should buy this one? This is hard question. Perhaps people that want to use simulations, seated experience because the tracking is bad, and with the possibility to have it wireless and with a pretty good display. The Vive Cosmos has a good display. So this is the only case where I could recommend this. So the Vive system is very, very expensive. For me, I would try to avoid it a little bit and buy the Rift or Pimax or whatever stuff, or Valve Index that I will show you later. But this is a big problem from HTC, that the price is very high for that what you get. So this is the Vive system. Okay, then let's talk about the Valve Index. This is the VR headset from Valve. You know that from Steam, of course, and they made their own VR headset. And it's really, really good. It's really good. It has most advantages of all the headsets, and it has even bigger field of view than all the other headsets I showed you. It has 130 instead of 110, so the immersion is bigger. You see more of your environment, and it also has the lighthouse tracking. It has all the advantages of the good trackings. You get 2 of these sensors. You mount them on the wall, like with the Vive system. So you have the disadvantage that it's not mobile. You cannot bring it to your friends very easy, but you have perfect tracking. You have big field of view. It's an all-rounder headset. You can play all the games with that. Then it's very comfortable. You have the screw here. It's very comfortable. It has very good sound with these metal headsets. They fly over your ear. They don't touch your ears. Very good sound. You have IPD slider. You can use it people wearing glasses. You can remove this plate here, and you have a module place. There will be some modules in the future, like a wireless module. Can put it here. You can remove that stuff here. Very easy, just with magnets, and it's very comfortable. Also, it's modular. That means it's lighthouse system. You can also use this stuff here. Everything you want to use with lighthouse tracking, like you can even use the old Vive controller and this full body tracking and stuff. But the most important thing of this package are these new controllers. Some people know them as Knuckles controllers, but the official name is index controllers. And you attach them here like this, and then they are attached to your hands. You can't lose them. You can't lose them. You can throw stuff like this. It's very comfortable, very good, and it has finger tracking, very precise finger tracking. So it knows if you use your fingers here, it can recognize stuff. It even knows how strong you push the grip area. It knows that, so you can squish a balloon more and more and more until it breaks. Really good. What I don't like are these small touchpad, but you won't ever need them. So for the games that support these controllers, it's crazy awesome. It's really, really good. But for the games that don't support these index controllers, and there are still a lot of them, you could have problems. For example, if you hold a weapon and you close your hands here, you could accidentally drop your weapon on the ground, even though you didn't want to do that. So this is a big problem in some games, controller alignment and stuff. But yeah, they are great. More and more games support the index controllers. Headset is also very good. So it's attached via DisplayPort, USB and power plug. A disadvantage of the display of that, it's LCD, it's not OLED, so the black levels are okay, but they are not perfect. And a disadvantage is also the God ray effects. So that appears when you see a black background and a bright stuff in the middle of the display, I would say. There are a lot of light rays and stuff. It doesn't look very good, but it only happens in these scenes with dark background. Yeah, so all in all, this is a really good headset. Also, the sound is perfect. It has the best microphone ever. And the price is 1,079 euro. This is a lot, but if you compare it to the Vive Pro costs 1,199 euro. And this is so much better than the Vive Pro. Oh my God. If you ask me Vive Pro or this, definitely this one. It's the best high-end all-round headset, in my opinion. This is really true for me. So who should buy that? Of course, enthusiasts with a lot of money. 1,079 is not cheap, but it's worth the price, in my opinion. The tracking is perfect. You have these cool new controllers, and it's very comfortable. You can play sessions, long sessions with that. You can even use that for simulations and stuff. It's an all-rounder high-end headset. That's what I would say. Okay guys, let's continue with the Pimax headsets. So this is a lot of stuff here. And then now you will think, why on earth does he have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 headsets that all look the same? Why should I do that? Guys, that are all different headsets, that are not the same headsets. Pimax has a lot of different headsets, and I will tell you the difference later. But these are the Pimax headsets. All of them have in common that they have a very big field of view, 200 degrees diagonal. This is ultra much. It's the biggest field of view that's available on the market for now. This is the biggest advantage of the Pimax headsets. Then they have a pretty high resolution, depends on what headset. The 8K has 4K displays, the 5K had 2.5K displays, and then we have OLED versions and stuff. They have good resolution, so you don't see the screen door effect very much. This is also a big advantage. The next advantage is that you have lighthouse tracking. That means you can use these base stations on the wall, as you saw that on the Valve Index and HTC Vive, and that means you can use all the equipment like the Index controllers or this stuff here, full body tracking with the Vive trackers. That works with the Pimax headsets, no problem. So the tracking is also very perfect. Then another advantage is the modular stuff. So you, for example, here you have a hand tracking module. You can just attach it under the Pimax, and then you have hand tracking. There will also be wireless modules, smell modules, and all this stuff. It will appear in the future. And now, yeah, we have this is also a disadvantage, what I just told you, because the problem with Pimax is that they say something and then it won't happen. For example, they told us you will get the base stations and the controllers soon. So now we have 2019 or 2020, and even it's not here. When you buy these headsets, you won't get the base stations, you won't get the controllers. You have to buy the HTC Vive stations or the Valve Index stations and controllers. Otherwise, you only get these headsets when you buy them. This is a big disadvantage, and Pimax is not very reliable when they say it will be released in June 2020 or whatever, and it will not be released then. It will even be pushed back because they have some problems and stuff. Also, the support is not very good. This is a big disadvantage of these headsets. Also, another disadvantage that some people experience is because of the very big field of view and the big lenses, there is an effect, it's called distortion. And it looks a little bit on the outside of your view like a fisheye effect. But some people notice it and they hate it. Some people notice it and they don't mind, and some people don't notice it. So this is very important that you know that. Perhaps you will hate these headsets because of the distortion. For me, I see the distortion, but I don't care about it. I can play with it. It's awesome. So these headsets are not for people that are new to VR, because it can cause motion sickness. The big field of view and the distortion, it can cause motion sickness. And also you have to play around with this headset all the time before you start a game. For every game you need another settings in the so-called Pi tool. So you have to change the field of view, the hertz, the parallel projections, or all these settings, the brightness and stuff, and even the super sampling settings on Steam. You have to change it for all games. And so this is not for beginners, guys. It's not, I can tell you. But if you get used to that, perhaps for people that like all these settings, you have a lot of possible settings that is good for these peoples. So yeah, what else could we say about that? If you buy these headsets, you can invest into the future, I would say. So who should buy these headsets? I would say high-end enthusiasts, of course, that want to buy a very expensive headset and invest into the future because it is modular, it has a lot of stuff, and also it has a very big field of view. This is another a very big advantage, of course, the low screen door effect. And yeah, we have a 5K plus, a 5K, 8K, 8K plus, Pimax XR, and then there will also be a Pimax 8KX in the future that has even higher resolution. So for example, the 5K plus is $699, the 8K is $899, and the OLED version is $899 as well. But the OLED version has a worse screen door effect because of this OLED display, but then it has better black levels, of course. So plus the price for the controllers and base stations. Remember that you will pay much more than $1,000 for a Pimax complete system. Please notice that. So it's not for beginners. I have to say that again, not for beginners, only for people that know what they are doing. But they are, for me, I love to play with these headsets, also with the Valve Index because of the bigger field of view. I love field of view. If you don't care about field of view, don't buy them. That's it. So the biggest disadvantage is the quality of the material. So I have some Pimaxes that even have the plastics are ripped, broken. I can't show it now. I don't know which one it is. It's broken, it's cracked. And yeah, here I can, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's cracked here. You can even remove that stuff. This is bad. And even the comfort is not very good because of these things here. There will be a deluxe audio strap, but nobody knows when. So this is a big problem, the reliability of this company. So yeah, these are the Pimax headsets. Okay guys, that were a lot of VR headsets, as you can see, and all of them have advantages and disadvantages. You can even spend more money if you want to buy a X-Style headset. It has even higher resolution, sharper display, or even a Star VR1 that's also very expensive, like $3,000 to $5,000 or whatever. And then you have even bigger field of view than Pimax, better comfort and stuff. There is no limit. But I think I showed you a lot of VR headsets. I showed you a lot of advantages and disadvantages, the price, who should buy which headset. I hope I answered most questions. I know, of course, there are a lot of more questions, and now this is your task. Write it in the comments below if you have more questions about that. Would be really awesome if you do that. Otherwise, yeah, I hope I could help you with your decision. If you bought a VR headset because of my video, write it in the comments below which headset and why. This would be very interesting for me. Yeah, guys, you can imagine that this hobby is very, very expensive. I buy 90% of these headsets with my own money. So I really appreciate your support via Patreon or via YouTube membership, $1 per month, or even one time via PayPal. You can find the email in this video. Or if you don't have money and still want to support me, you can do this via my Amazon link, buy toilet paper or screwdrivers or microwaves, whatever, go via the Amazon link. You don't pay anything extra and you will support me for free, or your Twitch Prime membership. Yeah guys, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time in virtual reality. See ya!
Voodoo.de